This is where Roy lives, which, as he will tell you probably 100 times, is a little village which has grown into an urban hub. It's now very busy. This is exactly the centre of Twickenham. You see Barclays Bank, which is closed like most other banks in the UK. And it's very busy, even at this time on a weekday. The reason why I'm here is my dentist is very near to him. Well, near to him, he's probably a mile up the road here, I would have thought. This is one of many lovely little squares in the centre of London. Very nice addresses to live in, and of course very expensive. This is Dorset Square. I've been to the restaurant actually. I was early, but of course I'm either early or late. It's all about the trains. And yeah, what was I going to say? Yes, I went past the restaurant, forgot to take a picture. I'll do that when I go back. And in case we've got time afterwards, I thought we'd go to a pub. So I found one just up the road here, and I'm going to investigate it. Look at this lovely gate. And this has been here since, so that's it. And you can only get in, members of the general public can't, you get in by being a resident of one of these flats. I used to have a flat in something very, very similar to this. It was called Courtfield Gardens. And I had a key to the garden, and I went in once or twice, but like everywhere else that I owned, I never really lived there very much. And this is something that if you get Roy, he will tell you an awful lot about. He's told me about 10,000 times, so of course I don't want to hear it, but it'd be interesting one. See these little blue so-and-so lived here, died here, built it or whatever. And there are so many of them. Most of the people I've never heard of. Dodie Road. And this little street here, with the funny little houses, and they've all got something underneath. This is what is called a mews. This is Taunton Mews. This is an extremely expensive area, and the origin of mews was it has to do with the management of cats or horses. Particularly in this case, I think horses. So people had their carriages or their, and the actual houses here were probably the rear part of a very large house. You saw them on the square back there, because this is just the next street. And it is amazing, actually, next to each other you've got these completely different styles, but lovely, lovely architecture. Look at that. And related, but again different. This is the street where the restaurant is. I'm still early, but I suspect if I'd been here on my own, Roy would have turned up an hour and a half late. But what I've noticed is if there's anybody else there, he won't turn up late. In fact, he'll turn up early. He'd probably be sitting in the table right now waiting for everybody, as if to say, you see how good I am with the time. Nice area this, but rather expensive. It is an expensive restaurant where we're going tonight. There's an interesting looking Indian here. Obviously nobody eats at this time. That's my restaurant over there. Lots of vagrants on this street. So I didn't need to go for a walk for a quarter of an hour out there. Thank you very much. There's no rule here about not taking pictures. And I think you've said hello already, haven't you? A lot of empty dishes here, and that was absolutely brilliant. What is it, Roy? Duck, isn't it? And that is pork.
Yep.
Cheeky. And I've got prawn, but I think we're all going to exchange anyway. So.